Hi, I'm Christine Dunbar with SpeechModification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent training. We're doing 30 days, the 30-day accent challenge, 30 days of live videos to help you with pronunciation, intonation, and all of the elements of your American accent. If you do the exercises and attend the classes, you'll be able to see a marked improvement in your speech in just 30 days. So far we've been covering some topics about pronunciation, about intonation, vowel sounds, and consonant sound patterns. Many of the patterns we've talked about for consonant sounds occur at the end of the word. That's a very important place for accent patterns. Today I'd like to look at some consonant patterns, accent patterns that happen at the start of the word. So you can check out the first 14 days of the challenge on my playlist and also on speechmodification.com and find practice exercises for each day. Today we're going to look specifically at what is called voiceless stops at the start of a word. And in day 11, we talked about voiced and voiceless sounds, and so you can learn more about that by looking at that video and that page on the website. And day 10, we talked about what's called the manner of articulation, and so a stop sound is one manner of articulation, and that's what we're going to look at today. So we're going to look at the stop sounds that do not have voicing, specifically the P, P, T, T, and K sounds, K. And they're called stops because in order to make the sound, I have to fully stop the air. Pressure has to build up, and then it has to release into the sound. So you can feel that with your, with the air behind your lips, P, behind your between your tongue and your teeth, T, and with your tongue back. K. There are also voice stops. The corresponding stops for those would be at the lips, B, B, behind the teeth, D, D, and with the tongue back, G, G. But today we're just going to talk about a pattern that happens for the P, T, and K, the P, T, and K sounds. Hello, nice to see you. So in American English, when I say the P, T, and K sounds at the beginning of words, if I use a voiceless stop there, I need to release the sound with a burst of air. So when I'm saying the word like people, paper, there's a little puff of air that comes out with that P sound. I can even feel it with my mouth. P, people, paper. Same thing with T words, talk, today. There's some air coming out. Same thing with K words, cold, continue, k, k. I can feel that, p, p. Hi Pascal, and t, t. I can feel that burst of air when I'm speaking and I'm saying those sounds. Now there are a lot of languages that have these voiceless stop sounds at the start of words where they say the sound, but they do not have that puff of air. It's called unaspirated. They don't release the air. And instead of people, it might sound more like people. Or instead of talk, it might sound like talk. Or instead of cold, it might sound like cold, cold. It's harder for me to do. We don't have that pattern in English for these sounds. To the American listener, if I say those initial stop sounds, the P, T, and K sound, without the puff of air, an American listening to me might think I'm saying a voiced sound. So people sounds almost like beeple with a B to American listeners. Doc sounds almost like doc with a D. It's hard for the listener in American English to understand what you're saying if you don't use that puff of air, people, talk, because we don't have that pattern in English. So our ear interprets it as something different. So languages that have this, that do this unaspirated P, T, and K at the beginning include Arabic. Many of the Indian English speakers, Indian languages like Gujarati, Hindi, Tamil, Punjabi, many European languages, Polish, Czech, French, Hungarian, Italian, Portuguese, Romanian, Russian, Urdu, Tagalog, Vietnamese, Yoruba. All of those languages have a tendency to have this accent error pattern where you might be using an unaspirated sound, especially on P and T, also sometimes on the K sound or C sound. To check if this is something that you do, you can try some words and you can put your hand up in front of your mouth and feel whether or not you have that puff of air. You might also be able to hear it, but remember your accent does act as a filter on what you're hearing as well as what you're pronouncing. So you may or may not hear that initially in your own speech. Let's try some together. You can see, you can try it making sure that you're using the puff of air when you're saying these sounds, and you can check with your hand in front of your mouth. So try people. I'm going to do it without the hand in front of my mouth so you can see my mouth and you can see the release. Put. Park. Let's try some with T. Table. Totally. Take. And we'll try some with the K sound. Kid. Capable. Could. So could. Could you feel air coming out when you're saying that? And you're saying could and not good. Then how to practice for this. So if you've identified that this may be a pattern that you have either based on your native language or based on what you just tried just now, sorry, it sounds like there might be a noise happening in the background. I have been having a few technical difficulties occasionally with the broadcast having a noise, so I apologize if that's the case today. I'm not hearing it or seeing anything that could indicate that, but bear with me. Hopefully that will fade. Okay, so in order to practice, if you feel that you have this pattern potentially, practice by using our same technique of practicing on common words. So let's try some with P. Try put, point, past, please, project, program. Okay, so try that. It may feel unnatural at first. If you're used to not using that puff of air, you might have to go more slowly. Try the sound by itself. Put, point, etc. Let's try some with T. Try take, talk, today, try, 10, text, and now some with K. Can, come, could, keep, car, call. You can see these common words and get practice materials for them on today's lesson on speechmodification.com. The link is below, and also if you go to Speech Modification and free resources, you'll find it in the free online practice. Just like with some of our other patterns, you can move through next taking these same words and trying some repeated phrase practice. So you take a common word and you could add additional words. So try, for example, with come, you could say come here, come over, come later, come on. Or for today, today's news, today's email, today's topic. Or with please, please don't, please do, please call me, please be there, etc. The idea there is that you're getting into the habit of using your new pattern in your everyday speech, and you're also having to think of what to say, which occupies some of your mind, and you have to rely more on the motor habit to use the new sound. So I hope that helps you if you have this pattern with the voiceless stops P, T, and K. You can find out more information about this, as I said, on the website, and make sure you subscribe to the channel to be notified each time that we're live, so you can join us for our next 15 more days of the 30-day accent challenge. And also on Fridays, we'll be having live question and answer. So please attend then if you have questions about anything you've heard in the 30-day accent challenge or any other questions regarding the American accent. As always, please feel free to comment and leave questions on the video, and I'll get back to you with an answer. Where you can find the information on my playlists on my channel page or on my website. And I will also make a video for you if I don't already have that information somewhere available to you. So thanks for being here today, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day 16 of the American Accent Challenge. I'm Christine Dunbar with SpeechModification.com. Remember, if you want to sound American, you can do it. SpeechModification.com.